So Amrita, thank you so much for being with us today. I guess the best place to start is you just telling us your story.
Okay, it's quite a long story. So I'll give the most detail, somewhat. But yeah, so I got pregnant. Wasn't in the best situation financially, mentally, and even with the baby's dad, I wasn't with him, so it was an ideal situation. And yeah, I panicked and I took an abortion pill because I thought I was lacking a lot of information, had almost no knowledge on what the abortion pill does or the possible next steps of actually keeping a pregnancy.
And how did that happen in terms, Amrita, of just, what you're describing? There's many women, I'm sure, listening, watching, that have had that experience or know someone who've had that experience of your world is going to crash in upon you. But how did it happen, that point of you feeling, oh my goodness, I can't continue with this pregnancy, to picking up the phone? Like, how easy was it to get those abortion pills, and were you given any kind of guidance or counseling around that?
It was a lot easier than I ever expected. It was incredibly easy. Like, I think the main question I ever got is, do you want an abortion pill or not? And that was the only sort of counseling, I guess, or question or anything that I actually got from the abortion clinic at all. Like, there was no, oh, okay, well, this is what might happen, not just to my baby, but to me, and these are the cautions and stuff like that. There was such a lack of information. So yeah, so that's so yeah, I didn't get any counseling at all. Sorry, what was the full question?
Yeah, so just I guess it's just that just to help people understand, here you are, you're in this vulnerable position with this unplanned pregnancy, and you're not really given any support or counseling in terms of any other option, that you just kind of pick up the phone. Because I know at the time the pills were sent to you. Was it during the pandemic, or how did all that work?
So yeah, the pills were sent to me. It was towards the end of the pandemic. So people were allowed to go out and stuff. Obviously, travels, like, you had to travel a portion and stuff. So it just towards the end. So yeah, there was possibilities to be able to go to hospital if you wanted to, or meet people they wanted to. But obviously, with the abortion pill, it was just sent to your home at this point. I believe that they're still continuing that, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, as simple as what I initially done was pick up the phone and say, told them that I wanted to have a meeting with someone to discuss, like, the moral sides of it, just get information on, like, how my health would be, how if the baby could feel anything, and etc. But I believe that they wouldn't have given me that unless I asked. So yeah, it was quite simple, quite easy for me to get it. It's almost like it's just routine to send it out. Like, someone asks for abortion pill, that's it, you send it out and that's it, it's all done. But yeah, and so it changed because, one, it was too easy. Two, it was just something inside me that was like, okay, this isn't right. And that's why I initially wanted a meeting. And also, my baby's dad grew up Catholic, and he grew up with a lot more knowledge than I did about abortions and when a life becomes a life, and when the first heartbeat is and stuff like that. So he's the one that kind of first questioned me about it, in a sense, and was like, oh, okay, do you know actually what this means? Like, do you know what this, like, what you're going into and the ins and outs of it? So yeah, the phone call was also for him, the meeting. But yeah, there wasn't much actual advice that come from it.
Yeah, so you felt like the answer was just, look, the option is abortion. You can take these pills. And
Yeah.
so what happened next then when you took the pills? Was it kind of instant regret, or was it a few hours later? How did that feel then?
Yeah, it was instant regret straight away. I would say within a second of actually swallowing the pill. And I just cried the whole time. And then I did have a babysitting job at the time, so I went there. And then after an hour or so, I was just like, I was even texting friends. I remember that had an abortion in the past, and asked them, oh, is this normal to feel this way, or how do you get over this, and this and this? And the people that I was texting was actually a male friend, so it was odd for him to even say to me, oh yeah, that's normal. you just kind of learn how to get through it. So it was very eye-opening for me. And I think after about an hour of taking it, I had in mind, okay, I need to save this baby, because this can't be normal. I can't live with this guilt for however long I'm supposed to live with it. Or because obviously I'm assuming at that point in my mind was everyone that has had an abortion feels guilty. But that's obviously something that I didn't know beforehand.
And what did you do then, Amrita?
So that's when I first called the abortion clinic, and I said to them, I asked them, okay, well, I regret taking the pill. What do I do? I felt silly even calling them, because I was like, oh, this is such a silly thing. Like, how many people actually take the first abortion pill and regret it? And call them up and want to reverse it. And they weren't shocked at all. They were just like, okay, this happens. We get calls all the time about this. Just make sure, as long as you don't bleed, you'll be absolutely fine. And that was about it. And that's the only information I got. So yeah, I was quite shocked about how blasé they were about it and how like normal they acted. When in my mind I was like, oh, this is a silly situation for me. And this couldn't, like, to me, it was like, oh, this must be rare, because no one gets into this situation. And two, I was panicking quite a lot, because in my mind it was like, my baby, I need to save her life. And then I got in contact with Dr. Dermot, which told me, well, his sister, and then I spoke to him and he told me about the progesterone pill. And then I took it the next day, and everything's been good since then. But my goal has been since then is to make sure people get enough, as much knowledge as possible about progesterone pill, and actually understand that they do have more than just one option in this situation, and they shouldn't just sit there and be like, oh, okay, well, I've made my mind up now, or I've swallowed that pill and that's it, it's done.
People will just find so heartbreaking is that, because obviously you were able to seek out the abortion reversal pill, and thank God it worked for you, and your little girl is alive and well today. She's 15 months old, I know. But it's interesting that you said, when you called back the abortion clinic, they're obviously used to this happening, where there's regret. Many other women mightn't have known about the abortion reversal pill. But even the idea of obviously if there's a lot of women contacting the abortion clinics afterwards, is they obviously were not sure in their decision in the first place, but weren't given adequate information or counselling, or even asked that basic question, are you sure this is what you really want? Do you think that that's something that's really lacking?
I do, yes, I do. And I've actually thought recently about, not recently, like the past couple of months, of there should be a website that gives all this information, just like the facts. And because the lack of information that I had, and even now as a mother, I don't have the ability to get all the information I need. And as being a parent, I'm also lacking information, which I think people should have the ability to be able to get, and there should be something in place for them to get that. And I think with abortion pill, in my mind, and since having conversations about this with friends that never actually thought about it, or family that have never thought about what abortion actually means, they're like, their eyes are a lot more open. They're asking me questions where I don't know the answer, and I'm like, okay, well, there should be something in place. And I think with the abortion clinic, and with even the medical, like doctors in general, they just don't know what that information is. They don't know about the first heartbeat. They don't know about this and this and that. I'm like, okay, well, this information should be given to a parent to say, okay, well, if you want an abortion, that's absolutely fine, but do you know this? Do you know that this and this? And it's not forcing them, it's giving them the facts. Because I had a conversation with a friend not too long ago, and I said that if I knew, because it just came because I was having a conversation about a lady that had a child, and her child, that while she was pregnant, the child had surgery, and they gave the child a painkiller. And so in my mind, I said, oh, well, if I knew my little girl, if I had an abortion, was going through pain, it would ruin me. Like, if I knew that, and I went through with abortion, it would just ruin me to know that I've put a child inside my stomach through that. And I said that I'd rather have that information to be like, okay, now I can make an actual decision based on not just me, but
there's a real information vacuum. And even, we're in the situation here in Ireland where women are still able to get these abortion pills and take them at home. We still have telemedical abortion, and that idea of you just kind of picturing you being just So as you said, panicking and not really having the right supports to reach out to. Women aren't being served very well who are experiencing what you experienced, that situation where in that moment, in those days, you're thinking, how am I going to deal with this pregnancy? The things that you needed, the resources that you needed. What more do we need to do to help women who are having a similar experience to what you had?
I believe giving, I would say the most obvious is support, not being judgmental. I would say in resources, I would say being able to easily, if they can easily get the abortion pill, they should easily be able to get the progesterone pill. And this is what I believe, because I think people do make mistakes. People are in the wrong mindset at times. Like, I know I was very hormonal. I was very, like, my body was changing. Like, I was going through so much mentally and physically. And me being able to get hold of the progesterone pill possibly saved my life and definitely saved my child's. And there's no doubt in my mind that. So I think being able to easily have the progesterone pill available is what is needed, or at least when people ask for the abortion pill, to not even have a questionnaire in the sense of like refusing them the abortion pill, but like letting them know, like, okay, this is the information, but do you actually want the abortion pill? Is, like, I would say sending it in through the post is such a crazy idea to me, because these are serious tablets. So sending through a post can, I think that should fully stop. But I don't believe that I'm the one to be able to stop that straight away.
I know, Amrita, shortly after you were able to get the abortion reversal pill, it was very shortly after that Dr. Dermot Kearney that was taken against him, where people were trying to like get him struck off the medical register, all this sort of stuff. Now that case obviously has been struck down. I feel about that there's this whole movement that's trying to stop women from being able to get these abortion reversal pills.
I was incredibly shocked when I heard, and I wanted to do anything to help. And I was more shocked because with the media that goes out in regards to abortion and abortion clinics and stuff like that, they're always seen as these saviors and these people that are trying to help. And so I think that was one thing where I was like, okay, yeah, you can't always trust the media in that sense, because with them trying to like totally take off the progesterone pill was absolutely shocking to me, because I just don't, for me personally, like, it saved my little girl's life. So to me, the way I see it is a life-saving medicine. So for someone to say, okay, yeah, definitely such a big organization to try to totally cross it off was just absolutely shocking to me.
Yeah, I think as well, when you think that obviously one of the main narratives around abortion is the whole idea of choice. So why is there such a pushback against when a woman like you exercise that choice, saying, hang on, actually, I don't want this, I've changed my mind? And is it that it's trying to, put across this false idea that, women, when they say they're going to have an abortion, that they really want it all the time, and that they're not vulnerable, and that they're not pressured into it, or that they have been given all the information. But of course, those things aren't happening a lot of the time.
No, of course. Yeah, no, exactly what you say is, people fight for women having choices, but this is definitely a woman's choice as well. I know my own experience, like, I've had my daughter like over a year ago, but ever since I've had her and this information's come out, I've been contacted multiple times from multiple women that have been in that same situation. And it's like, okay, well, if they had like it's horrific to say, but some of them obviously haven't been as lucky as I have. But if they had if they could easily get the progesterone pill, they would still, like, they would be in my position now. So yes, it's very upsetting to think that people sit there and say, okay, well, women should have a choice, and they don't give women that choice. So
how do you think you would feel? I mean, when you look at your little girl now, Amrita, running around, 15 months old, and you were able to get the abortion reversal pill, but even the fact that so many women might just feel, like I said, pressured into it, or it's just such a quick process here in Ireland as well as the UK, of picking up the phone, getting sent the pills. How do you feel for those women who mightn't, as you say, been as lucky as you and your little girl?
Oh, my heart absolutely breaks. Every time I see my little girl, like it's almost like waking up Christmas morning. Like, it sounds very cliche, and I've heard people say it. And before I had my daughter, and I was like, oh, well, that can't be fully true. Like, as a child, they cry all the time, but no, it generally is like, it's like waking up like Christmas morning, like every single day with her. And so when there is women that come up to me and they're like, oh yeah, I have sports ball, like I regret it and stuff, it's just like my heart absolutely breaks. Because I can't.
And what about all those things, Amrita, you know, at the start you were saying, and you're probably describing a situation a lot of women have been in, where you were looking at all the things saying, you know, I'm not together with the baby's dad, all these, what about all those things that were barriers to you? When you think about them now, you know, did you find solutions for them, or did they just become less important when you had your little girl in your arms?
Yeah, I think situations or problems that you have or have before having a child just disappear. And with, like, say, finances, for example, which was a big reason why I took the abortion bill originally. My finances aren't the best, but we are surviving, and we are fine. And I realized that a lot of my finances probably went on, like, going on random holidays or buying random clothes and stuff like that. And now I have a child, it just isn't my priority. Like, my priority is her and making sure she's happy. So yeah, they kind of just, they disappear because you realize that you have a bigger purpose in life. And yeah, in regards to me and my baby's dad, like, we are co-parenting, but we are absolutely fine. Like, we're doing really well, we get on really well. That's not an issue at all. He's a brilliant dad. In all honesty, like, as much as I'm so grateful for him to be here, if he wasn't, which I know a lot of women are in, like, situations women are in now where their dad just doesn't stay, or they're worried that dad doesn't stay. In all honesty, I would still love her just as much. I was still, it would still just be as magical to be with her every single day. It would just be maybe slightly harder, but yeah, there's not.
No, we need to empower women more. You know, you have been able to do this. You're doing an amazing job raising a wonderful little girl, and too often we're telling women you can't do this and all these barriers, but we need to empower them. It's been lovely chatting to you, Amrita, and I know that you are going to be welcoming you to Ireland on the 1st of May for the pro-life event, the pro-life rally. We're really looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. Yes, I'm looking forward to meeting you and going and talking, letting everyone know about my story.
Well, it's been great to have you with us today, and thank you so much for just courageously sharing your story. Would you encourage other women in your situation out?
Oh, sorry, the signal went again.
Okay. I was just asking you, Amrita, do you encourage other women in your situation to speak out?
Yeah, I would encourage. I know it's hard. For me, it was very difficult at the beginning. I even said that I don't want to be in any media, I don't want pictures to be taken and stuff like that. And then as more and more, as my daughter grew and my love grew more and more with her, I was just like, yeah, there's no way I cannot help women to be in the position that I'm in now. But yeah, it is very scary speaking out, but I would absolutely encourage it, even if it's to save one baby or save one mother. It's definitely worth it.
Well, you are truly inspirational and courageous, and we are really looking forward to having you in Ireland on the 1st of May, and we'll catch up with you again then. Amrita, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.